Big Dog here. Um, Wanted to talk to you a little bit about Jay's day today because I feel it's important. Through hiking the Appalachian Trail with the dog. Jay's doing fantastic. Jay, Jay is exhausted right now. What's up, buddy? You tired? He's falling asleep on a burnt log in the fire pit because he just ate a ton of food. So we woke up this morning and Jay wouldn't eat, which is hugely frustrating. It was a hugely frustrating morning for me in general, but we're not going to go into detail about that. But I will say that Jay did not eat. He didn't even drink any water this morning, which was a huge concern. So we ended up starting off real slow and going to a stream. When he got to the stream, he drank. So I was happy. And when he got to the stream, I splashed him with water and cooled his body, make sure his body was cool. Did the same to myself. We got on the trail, and he just wasn't really taking water a whole lot and was not eating. So in this situation, I had to keep a close eye on him all day. Just so he didn't get heat exhaustion. He wasn't, I wanted paying close eye to make sure he's not fumbling, or he's not walking funny or panting too hard or anything like that. And he wasn't. He did fine all day, but just to make sure, if you're hiking with a dog, if they're not drinking water, I would pour it in his bowl, and I pour a little bit in his bowl. And if he didn't drink it, or just sniffed it and walked away, I would take the bowl and I'd dump it on his head. And then I would dump more water on his head and a little bit on his back, just to keep his body temperature down and to keep him cool. And every time we hit a water source, same thing. Not that it's really difficult with Jay, because Jay, the first thing he does is bolt towards the water and try to dig up the rocks, which everybody finds hysterical, and it is pretty funny. So just, keeping his body temperature down and keeping his core cool is really, really important. If you're hiking with a dog, I recommend that. Dumping water on him as often as possible, especially in the heat. Obviously, you also do it for yourself. I dump water on myself continually. I don't think I even need rain gear at this point because I'm just wet all the time because I'm just dumping water on my head every 15 minutes. But I do need us more water containers. That being said, Jay didn't eat. He was hungry when he got here. But one thing that did it, excuse me, was there was an elderly gentleman that I met today who had heat exhaustion. He wasn't doing very well. Great guy, 71 years old, trying to hike the AT. He had an amazing life. Used to surf when he was younger. Has traveled a ton of places. Has hiked a ton of places, and he just kind of hit his limit today trying to hike. Him and his buddy. And so I ended up giving him some chocolate and making him eat the chocolate, which he loved. Thanks, Mom. Chocolate's going a long way these first 3 days. Gave him a bunch of those, gave him a bottle of water. He allowed me to dump a bottle of water on his head, and he kind of came out of it. And then I walked him down the mountain, and he ended up going with his buddy. Met him down at the mountain, and they're probably enjoying some burgers and beers right now, which is awesome. God bless them. Wish I was with them. Because I'm starting to crave some food right now. Anyway, the point being is that this guy unloaded a bunch of his food on me because he was carrying too much weight. And he has these wonderful little bags of berries and fruits and nuts, which are fantastic. I've been picking at those. And then he had this beef concoction with some kind of cheese and rice in it that when you mix it with water turns into like a beef porridge. And I cooked that up and ate it. And I mean, it was only 10 miles today, but we had to go 6 miles without water, which was a little bit trying, and it's just been a long day, although it was only 10 miles. So having this stuff as opposed to ramen noodles and cereal has been fantastic. And I put that in little brother's food as well. And he just ate 6 cups with that stuff mixed in. So I think he's just done. He's got his food in him. He's ready to go to sleep. Anyway, just pay attention. If your dog's not eating something or he's not taking his food, then you're going to have to start trying to, maybe even take some of your food and start mixing it into his food to make him eat. He needs the calories. He needs to be eating. He cannot afford to not eat. That's about all.